Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's set of reads. I apologize for my voice. It's a little off still. Doesn't hurt, but I'm going to probably sound like this through all these readings. For the main read, the tarot part, I'm going to use Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. At the bottom here is the social media information, and there's a llewellyn.com if you want to find the information. For the supportive oracle cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Website, what is the website? I think it's a Hay House or something. It's illustrated by Jesse Reish. I know it's at the bottom there. I think it's Hay House. I just didn't notice it where it was. I think it's near the end of it, but somewhere in that, under the barcode, there's the website for that too. Feel free to check that out. And the dice, I use a 22-sided dice. It doesn't have a 0, but it has a 22 for the major arcana. I just used 22 for the Fool. And I have a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And that's from, is it Math Art Fun? MathArtFun.com. If you're interested. I also had some other dice. I don't think any of these dice are from this anymore, but I'll throw this up there. Tom Anders. None of this is, what do you call it? I'm not getting anything for doing any of this. I'm just, people like the information, so I'm sharing it. That's what that is. And here's the QR code if you want it for Tom Anders. I had another 21-sided dice I used to use, but I don't use it anymore. In case you want to look other places for dice, there you go. Okay, I think we're all set. Of course, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email. James4astral@gmail.com. This James the number 4 astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. Sorry about my voice. It's probably going to be like this for the whole video. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? It's definitely going to be like this for the whole video. I don't know why I said probably. But there you go. Oh, this is going to be good. And the Ace of Swords. You got a lot of good cards going on. It's just not, clearly, you should have some good things. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be, well, Cancers went well too, though, now that I think of it. So, I don't know if you're dealing with a Cancer, but Cancers went well too. Let's get into this. It is similar, though. It's weird. I don't know if you have a Cancer you're dealing with, or there's a Cancer in your life that is also dealing with this type of person. Something like that. Because you've been very careful with this situation. This reminds me of when there's a lot of people involved, and there's maybe 1 or 2 people you don't care for. And, can Scorpio speak their mind? Clearly. If you need to say something, you will say something. If you decide you want to. That's how I viewed it. Scorpios are extremely strong. They can also keep it together if they want to. I've noticed that, but it can be very difficult. I don't know exactly how that works. I know a couple of Scorpios that you can tell by the way they're looking at somebody that, they're not happy. But I've seen some Scorpios get very, very quiet. So, whatever this situation is, you've been very, very diplomatic with it. Kind of like there's a lot going on here. I want to say something, but I know where that goes. I know what's going to happen if I do. And it's not going to take this situation where I need it to be. I keep getting it something like it's not about being right. It's about getting things to work out right. Does that make sense? It's not about saying what's true. It's about getting things to work out the way it needs to work out. It's like I can't speak to it because it doubles back or something like that. And currently that energy is serving you. You've gotten into kind of like, I want to say a rut. It's just kind of like, this is how I handle it, this is how I handle it, this is how I handle it. You maybe have trained yourself to handle it a certain way. You trained yourself to do it that way. It's okay so far. Okay, so things are fine. You might have gotten a little bit numb to it. I'm remembering a job I had years ago where, it was for a financial institution, and it was for like return, like fees and stuff like that, which, when people, it was just one of those jobs when you answer the phone, you get a 4-letter word just to start off, like they already hate you. Doesn't matter what you're going to do or can't do, they already hate you. So I remember I got numb to it. I just was like, oh, you think I suck. Right. Cool. It's kind of like cool. I feel like you've gotten numb to the situation. And it's not bothering you at the moment. Which is good. It goes better too. It keeps going better. I'm like, this is interesting because I don't feel like this is the most enjoyable situation, but you're handling it really well in the sense of like, this is what I want to happen. So I feel like you're going numb because kind of like the situation is not going to rule me. I'm not going to allow it, so I'm not going to react to certain things. And it's working. It's working. And Scorpio is extremely strong. And usually, like, I don't know what's going on here, but for whatever reason you've decided to handle it this way, Scorpio usually gets right out there with their, I don't know, if you've decided this is how it has to go, this is how it has to go, and you're handling it well, you're stuck. I get like, I just feel like I'm stuck in a rut and this is how I handle it. This is how I handle it. It's like that family member that you just can't stand, but you just kind of like, you smile and nod and you don't think about what they're saying too much and you're just kind of like, right, yeah, okay, yeah, right. You're just not thinking about what, it's like, I don't know, it's working. That does not mean you don't want to say anything. It doesn't mean you don't want to, but it's kind of like, I see where I want this to be. I tell this, if I even start this conversation, and that might be a part of it too. You're like, if I even start investing in this conversation, sooner or later I will tell my truth. I'm not even going to go there. I just keep feeling like I'm looking at somebody and they're talking to me and I'm like, yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah. Like I'm not really listening, but I'm trying to kind of play it off like I am. Like I don't give a shit what they're saying. I don't believe them anyway. But I'm like, I'm not getting sucked into any type of ridiculous. I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, right. Something is changing here. There's somebody else from the side. Somebody else from the side here is saying something. This is coming fairly soon. Somebody else is like going off on this person instead of you. Somebody else is going off on them instead of you. Okay, that's fine. What does that... Alright, so how does Scorpio... I don't even know if you're going to be there when it happens. If you are, then you'll clearly see it. If you're not there, you're going to hear about it, that's for sure. Even if you don't want to hear about it, you're going to hear about it, is what I'm getting. I feel like you get the 7 of Wands, which is kind of like... I feel like I'm staying out of it. I'm staying out of it. This reminds me of like, when couples have an argument and you don't like one of the people, but you're like, yeah, if I side with the one that I like against the one I don't like, they'll make up, they'll stay together, and then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. So nope, not playing that game. Played it before, not playing it today. Nope, not going. I don't think you're expecting it to go where it goes, but like there's a problem happening here. Somebody else is going off on this person, and it's kind of like not getting sucked into it. I'm not getting sucked into it. Nope, not doing it. There's a trick. Here's the advice, because whatever's going on, the person saying something. Excuse me. The person saying something, I do feel like you very much like. Otherwise, why would you? I don't see why you'd even bother getting involved, or even consider it. Quite frankly, the advice is to not completely disconnect from it. Do not completely disconnect from it, because there's like, I understand why you'd want to. I understand that, totally. But what they're saying is like, you know how to be careful. You can do this. Keep it private. Like, we don't want to like solve problems here. We're not looking to solve problems. But the person who speaks up and says something, if you can privately, just you and them, let them vent to you, and just be careful about like, oh, okay, well, what's been happening? Oh, okay. Let them share what's been going on and what they know. Try not to add to it, but absorb the energy, just don't add to it. Absorb it, because I get that there's something here where there's information that you should know. Something here that you should know. Part of it's going to validate feelings you already had, but there is something here that you should know that's like, I knew something was up, I didn't know that was what it was. One of those things. Kind of like, I knew there was something there, I just didn't know it was that type of thing. So like, let them talk, let them tell you, be careful about like, don't add your 2 cents to it, but just kind of go, oh, tell me, oh, okay, that's what's happening. Just listen, but don't add to it. Just listen, but don't add to it. You'll learn something. I feel like, again, it's like, oh, I knew something wasn't right, I just didn't know that was it. That type of thing. Okay. Ten of Wands, half in, half out. And then it's actually what is this? The Hanged Man coming up on the dice again. Things will return to the same that they've been, but there's information you need to know here. It seems to change where you're going in the future. It seems to change what you're planning in the future. Whatever you need to learn here, there's something you're going to get from that conversation that's going to help you balance things out later to your advantage when you need to. But this is definitely a long game thing that's going to promote more healing. It's a long game thing. Definitely a long game thing. You're going to learn something. It's kind of like, that's the details. Those are the details. I didn't realize that was the thing. Again, it's kind of like, I know something's not right. I just didn't know exactly what it was. You need the details. Those details, I feel like you're going to keep it to yourself, but I feel like it's going to help you plan for the future in the most successful way. All right, that's where this one's ending. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with my voice. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much again for watching. Have a great day.